This home could probably collapse at any moment. Kind of weird to see that, to see clothing left. It's always a little bit more eerie. Alright, hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today Sonny and I are going to be exploring an abandoned house. This house has not been lived in for over 2 decades and it is truly a time capsule. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this one, so without further ado, let's get right on into it and see what we can find. Alright guys, so we are starting off in the basement, and as you can see, the wood is really not looking too great down here. This home could probably collapse at any moment, and that's why we have to be super careful while we're checking this place out, watching our step, being really mindful, because there are probably a lot of soft spots and the last thing we want to do is get hurt. But it's a big part of the hobby, you know, it comes with the territory when places are decaying and being left for decades at a time. You know, you can't expect them to all be in great condition. So that's the situation with the house here. We're going to be super careful as we make our way through this place. And here are the actual stairs, or some of them at least. You know, there's a good amount missing that take you up to the house. So we gotta be super careful as we make our way up this. But let's do it. Let's go check this place out. Okay, so we are now in the house. We can actually see that we are directly above where we saw the wood that was really caving in, and we can tell it's super sloped in here. I have to be super careful. That's kind of why I'm not going in here yet. I need to probably give my full attention to walking and navigating around this, because one wrong step and this whole thing could just go down. But we have some old appliances. Everything here does have a very dated feel to it. I do like the layout of this place. The design does have a very farmhouse feel to it, so I'm excited to see how the rest of it looks. It looks like there's even a little mini Christmas tree left, which is kind of funny. A lot of people make jokes about places being abandoned at Christmas and Christmas decorations being left out, but who knows, that could be the case. I know that the couple that lived here, they both ended up passing, and I'm assuming that that is what contributed to the current status of the home, but who knows if it was around the holidays. So now it looks like we've made our way into what is the main kitchen, and I'm going to get up close and show you guys some of the cool details of this room. One of the main details that caught my attention in this kitchen is this beautiful oven and stovetop. Just the way it is made. Obviously it's not very modern, but I feel like all of the ways that appliances were created back in the day were just so much more aesthetically pleasing. As for the rest of this kitchen, it's just kind of a general mess. You can see that there's these pots and everything that are just scattered on the ground. But either way, there's a lot more left to see in this house, and we're gonna make sure you guys get to see it all. So let's make our way to the next room. And hanging by this door right here is some clothing. It looks like almost 2 outfits. One I could imagine, you know, an older woman wearing, and kind of like this heftier jacket like someone's grandpa would have. And it's kind of weird to see that, to see clothing left. It's always a little bit more eerie. Makes it a little more real, all the memories that are left in this house. And right before Sonny and I head upstairs, I wanted to show you guys this little wheelchair we noticed that was left in here. So again, another indicator that one of the residents, or you know, someone who was living here in the past, was handicapped or elderly, and now it's just gonna sit here, and who knows what'll become of it one day. Alright, so we are now on the 2nd floor. Let's check out these rooms and see what's left. Okay, so it looks like this section up here is the bedrooms. Here's the bed. It still has all the sheets left, but yeah, it's always interesting to see when there's like all these little knickknacks left. I feel like that always paints a really specific picture of what kind of people were staying in these homes, you know, looking at what's framed here in the art, or the little, like I said, like little knickknacks. It helps us paint that picture of what really went down here, what kind of memories are left here. Okay, now this is really weird. There's this doll on this chair just chilling in the corner. Like, that is terrifying looking, at least to me it is. But kind of weird. Gives off this like handmade doll vibe. So here we actually have a little bit of evidence that kind of attests to how long this place has been abandoned, because this calendar right here is dated from 1995. There's only a few years prior to the death of both of the residents, the couple who lived here. So that really shows exactly how long this place has just been sitting and decaying. Now this section right here of the room is actually what I wanted to show you guys the most, because I find it personally to be the most interesting. There's a big sewing machine that I believe in this case is attached to the table, because some styles were like that, and then they would have like an accompanying foot pedal that you could use to operate the equipment. And it still has all of the thread and all of these other components spread out over the table. It has scissors, all kinds of things that you would need for pretty much any kind of sewing related project. It almost makes me imagine, you know, like a seamstress living here in the past. It's pretty cool, and just the fact that the thread is all left too is kind of eerie a little bit in a way, but also very fascinating. Okay, so this is the second bedroom that is on this floor, and I actually love how this one is laid out. I think it is really nice, and it does oddly feel like someone's still living here. Again, with the sheets being, you know, still laid out and made, and, you know, the distribution of like little knickknacks and personal belongings, it's just still feeling very haunting in here in a way. So I'm gonna do the same thing, kind of poke around and see what's interesting in this room and show you guys what we find. So here's a better look at the bed. Again, kind of that eerie feeling, looking at the sheets and seeing how they're made, and kind of think about how, at least for me, I have that routine in the morning. I always get up, make my bed, and head out for the day, and that's probably what happened here. And that person didn't come home, you know, that was their final day, and now everything's kind of just stuck like this. This dresser seems to have a lot of personal belongings splayed out on it, so I'm gonna kind of get a little closer and see if there's anything interesting. There was, in particular, just one letter that I thought was kind of unique and written in a language I couldn't understand, so I'm gonna give you guys a little look at that. So here's the letter, which I believe is written in French, and I don't know any French, so if anyone in the comments happens to know French and can decipher this for me, please let me know, because I think it'd be really interesting to get some insight on what was going on in this handwritten letter. So of course I had to also open all the drawers up and check and see if there was anything left inside. And there's actually a bunch of articles of clothing that probably haven't been worn in decades, which is just nuts to see, but also really interesting and further attests to how much was really left behind here. Also pretty noteworthy, we have yet another sewing machine, and this one is a Singer. Slightly different style than the other one, where the other one was kind of integrated into the whole table, and this one's more of a standalone piece, but still really cool, and I love the minty color that it has. And right next to it on this dresser, there also seems to be a bunch of news clippings with all different kinds of people on it. It's just interesting to see, like, this one woman is, you know, posing with her two newborn babies, and you wonder, okay, was this the woman who lived here, or her mother, or, you know, what kind of connections are there? So you can only imagine how dated these are based on how they look. And lastly, this section down here is pretty cool, and it has a interesting variety of items. We have some old school wooden crutches, but we also have a cool little record player. It's a, I don't know if it says Masterwork system, but we have that. And we also have a good old classic old school box TV, you know, with the wood framing it. See, this one is an Olympic Got the dial and everything, so that's pretty sweet. And also too, we have this really old, dated looking dirty dress. Kind of similar to downstairs where we saw some clothes on hangers, almost set up in a way like if you picked out your clothes for the next day and they're all hung up and ready to go, except no one's here to wear them anymore. Alright, so Sonny, tell me, what did you think of this place?
It was incredible. It really was. Just going through, exploring, uncovering those little details. You know, this was someone's life, this was someone's house, and it's so many memories. And it's cool that we get to be a part of that and kind of uncover the past a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure, I agree. I mean, for me, you know, I always love like seeing things that are a little bit more dated and antique, and so that's a part of, you know, the couple story here, the people who once lived here.
Yeah.
You know, and to see all that remaining is still always going to be fascinating, always cool to look through, and like you said, pretty well, just get a sense of their memories. So,
yeah.
Either way, guys, we're really tired. It's getting dark. We definitely need to head on out of here, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So, peace on out. Alright, guys, I'm going to end the video right here. I hope you enjoyed exploring this abandoned farmhouse with Sonny and I. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and of course, like always, we'll catch ya in the next one.